UD, you're up first. You just heard Perk there. Who does Redick need the buy-in from more? Is it Anthony Davis or is it LeBron James?
Nah, I agree with Perk. It's AD. I mean, we understand Brown only got 2 years left, and then it's definitely going to be AD's team. But you also talk about fast-tracking that relationship. And I let Perk speak to this more, but that's why they're talking about bringing in a guy like Rondo, because he does speak that language. He does have the trust of a LeBron James. He does have the trust of an Anthony Davis. They won the ring in the bubble together. He can hold those guys accountable, and he's well-respected around the league. So I think AD is the guy you got to get to first. AD is the guy you got to build a relationship, but you got to fast-track it because you got the draft. You got to worry about your roster. He doesn't have the time right now because he just got in that chair to do all these things. That's why his staff is going to be so important.
Perk?
Molly, let me say this first.
Sure.
That video that we showed of the Boston, the Beantown being lit.
Oh, man.
I'm telling you right now. Hold on. It's no parade like a Boston parade. I'm telling you right now. When it comes down to winning a championship in Boston, that's the memory that stick with me the most. To those guys that just won the championship, cherish this moment. I mean, people are hanging from light poles. It is fired up out there. This was the best. I couldn't wait. That's why I wanted to win another championship in Boston, to get to that moment right there, that parade. I mean, look at it. They're going to show you how to celebrate the championship down there. Now, back to the Lakers, to the other side of town, to the West Coast. Here's the thing, right? When it comes to the Lakers and JJ Redick, this is all about Anthony Davis. I know we just played the soundbite of me yesterday, but we did that. That was off of NBA Today. UD was on set with me. As soon as we started, they announced the breaking news right when we were on the show. And right after they announced that, we went into conversation, and I don't remember if it was Ramona Shelburne or Dave McMenamin, but one of them had talked about how Anthony Davis is pushing to get Rondo on the bench. And the first thing came to my mind is, damn, why? Right? We know that they won a championship together. We know Rondo is one of the best basketball minds to ever play the game of basketball. We get all that. But what I took from it is, AD is like, hey, Bron, you got your guy in JJ Redick. I need my guy in Rajon Rondo on the bench, a guy that I could fully trust. Again, it's about trust. It's about gaining their respect. I heard UD talk about this 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 weeks, about a month ago, when he was talking about, if JJ Redick get hired, how guys are going to have that thought in the back of their head. Can we trust this? Is it coming from JJ or is it coming from Bron? This is a real thing. No matter how we want to sugarcoat it, no matter how we don't want to address it, it is a real thing because they had a podcast together and guys in that locker room know how close they are now. And that matters. So you gotta, if you're JJ, you gotta establish a relationship with the most important player on this team, and that's Anthony Davis. You gotta get that understood.
Wendy?
I would argue that getting buy-in from Anthony Davis has been the challenge of every single one of his coaches in the NBA. Because when he is absolutely completely bought in to what you want, he's a dominating, devastating player. But at times it's been hard. It's been hard to convince him to play center. They've done that the last 2 years. He just had arguably the best year of his career this last year. He's elite defensively and awesome, great offensively. It's been hard to get him to want to be aggressive all the time on offense. I understand why it's a question, because if you don't have LeBron's support, you got no chance. You're DOA. I've seen it happen, and if it happens with JJ, he won't recover from it. But LeBron he can play a lot of different roles. He can play big, he can play small, he can play point guard, he can play power forward, he can handle, he can be the hub of your offense, he can be the finisher of your offense. There's a lot of different ways for him to be effective, a lot of different styles that a coach may want he can work into. With AD, you need him playing big and being aggressive. So Perk, I don't know if I would say he would think about wanting out of there, because I think he likes being in LA, but I think from moment one, JJ's goal has got to be to sell AD, not only on him as the coach, but the style of play. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see that immediately coming right out in the press conference where they focus on AD. And they should, guys. He's a decade younger than LeBron. And by the way, he has 2 years and then an option left on his contract. They got to JJ Redick's contract is now longer than AD's. They got to make sure he's committed long term. So, Perk, I think that you thinking that is exactly right. I think that JJ is going to have more time than just a couple of months, but I think AD is the key to the whole thing. When AD plays well and is healthy, the Lakers' chances increase exponentially.
He does. And look, Molly, don't believe a damn thing that Rich Paul says when it comes down to LeBron not having his hand in the cookie jar, because he does, okay? And it's okay. My thing is, own it. If you want the team and hold the team accountable for us making moves, own it. If you don't want a coach sitting in the seat because you feel like he's not the best coach for you and the team, say it and stand on it. My thing is this. We all know that LeBron and Anthony Davis, that they didn't want Darvin Ham as their coach no more. He had lost the locker room. He had lost those two guys. Anthony Davis called them out publicly. LeBron James, we could see on TV on multiple occasions, took the clipboard, or Darvin Ham didn't, they wasn't agreeing for us out of timeout type play that was drawn up. Anyway, on top of that, LeBron has all the power when it comes down to decision making. Now, does he make decisions or does he chime in on every single move when it comes down to the offseason for us making trades or draft pick? He don't. He kind of stays away from that. But when it comes to big decisions, like your head coach, he definitely have his hand in the cookie jar.
You do?
All big-time players do. I mean, I look back at last year when, Giannis and the situation that happened with Adrian Griffin and, they brought in Doc, and Giannis was the first to say, hey, I had nothing to do with that. He a damn lie. There's no way you fire Adrian Griffin. I think they had the #1 record in the East, and you make that move without talking to your best player. So all your best players has that power when they've earned that. Championship guys, all-world, all-NBA, all those type of guys. You have to consult with those guys. You have to meet those guys in the middle. But the danger with that is it can't be all their way. There has to be a balance. It has to be a give and a take, and they have to sacrifice as well.
Wendy, take us home.
Both these guys played with LeBron. They know how he operates. It's not as simple as he makes a decision or not. There's shades of gray. There's nuance in there. But you almost always know exactly how LeBron feels. And the way that you convince LeBron you can coach him is to impress him. He wants to be coached, but he's got to believe that you know what you're doing.
NBA,